Okay, so just gonna start up. Nice raspy sound. We're going to take out for a very short drive on a nice glorious day with the roof down, and apologies for listening to me waffling on a bit more about being out in a 987 Boxster. Yeah, that feels good. Nice smooth change. Tiptronic box, moving it through the actual gears. For me, I don't really feel the need too much in the everyday drive to actually do that. I was lucky enough to actually pick this particular vehicle up and drive it from the previous owner, and I got to spend quite a bit of time behind the wheel that day, and I do know that it actually drives really nicely. Yeah, nice pickup. Steering's nice and sharp, and it is just a very good, honest example of the kind of vehicles that we get through the door in stock. It's actually a customer resold it back to us as soon as she was ready to move on and trade up. We were more than happy to take this particular car back. Does everything that you need it to. It doesn't squeak or rattle. Road noise isn't too terrible. You do have the deflector behind us, and it just doesn't feel its age. It's as simple as that. There are a few cosmetic details, like we spoke about, that you know that it's it's done some miles, but 62 is absolutely nothing. You can keep on using these cars, put some serious mileage on them before you need to worry about that. And if you look after it, it certainly will look after you. Behaves itself how you'd expect it to. Plenty of pickup. For the price point that these cars are at, you do get behind the wheel of a Porsche. It does look the way it looks, and you don't really know its age unless it's something that you actually know about and follow and go through the generations and know each make and model. The sat nav, some of the interior design features do give its age away. However, not really the reason why you buy these. It will be a daily driver should you wish it to be. However, for me, it would be a great second car, a great Sunday car. And the few high days and holidays that we actually get in the UK, where you can put the roof down and you can enjoy going to the pub or the beach or whatever it might be, there's a perfect car to do it. Again, that's clicking through the gears really nicely. 35 miles an hour, just coming out of the village itself, just before we can actually pick up. Down to 33 miles an hour, and I'm doing 3,000, and I'm doing just over 1,000 RPM. Then we'll click it down into the national speed limit. Yeah, really nice. All you need really, I mean, the 2.7 in this sort of Boxster S form is more than adequate. It feels great. Is definitely very Porsche. Again, these are well-mannered cars. They're not too harsh. They are a bit with the sporty suspension. The more that you go for that, yes, it is a bit firmer, but it's only a firm ride. It's not a harsh ride. It just feels tight and sporty as you would hope it to feel. So you find us then linking into the video that we've just done in the 2.7. With the Tiptronic box, we're going to move into the 2.909 reg Boxster now with the manual gearbox, just to do a small comparison. Again, I've just had to change this to suit my style. Obviously slightly different when you're depressing the clutch all the time. It has the semi-electrical seats for the rear up and down, and also the four-way on the steering wheel, which is fairly handy. So we've got a 6-speed manual here, definitely the one to have if you're going to do some motorway mileage. A 6-speed. If you do manage to drive any of these that's in the slightly older versions that just have the 5-speed, they do tend to just run out of legs a little bit for modern day traffic driving. Okay, and again you can see that we're a few years further along just in the evolution, as you would hope. The stereo system, etc., just looks slightly more modern, as you would expect and hope for. Oh, there we go. Again, nice smooth, clutch isn't too heavy, and the gear change is nice. There's a nice feeling to actually have it in your hand again, and again it makes you work up and down the gearbox. I don't even know what I was coming around that corner in the last one, but I'm having to think about it a bit more actually driving this. And for a more spirited drive, for a more sort of engaging experience, you can't really beat a manual. It is something that, unless I'm coming here and helping out with the guys at Invictus, I don't drive a manual car regularly. It's almost a bit of a forgotten skill, if you like. However, a minute or two behind the wheel, and it's as if you've been doing it again regularly like I used to. Nice. So we're at 31 miles an hour, just back down to 30 there, just as we came out of that corner. It's probably a little bit harder to gauge what you're doing, but so does it feel much different? No, it doesn't really. Some of the nicer features that we've said are just slightly upgraded on the interior. However, feels very very similar. What we'll do is we'll just come back out, we just drop it down and give it, pickup's lovely, and straight into 6th for cruising after that little blip. I don't know whether it's just me or these particular differences in the cars. This particular one, the steering actually feels that ever so slightly lighter, and I would have only noticed that because I've literally just got out of one and into the other. However, the road manners, the firmness, all of that feels fairly identical to me. And until you're getting up, I think, into the higher rev ranges, are you going to notice the fact that one's the 2.7 and the other one is the 2.9. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So I could feel the difference in the pull there. One, because I could hold the gears a little bit longer as I wanted to. I mean, again, you can use that in the Tiptronic, but it always feels just slightly more natural to do it when you're actually in control of that gearbox yourself. And you could definitely just feel that, just that extra bit of torque that they have. It's only sort of 20 Newton meters, but in a small light car like this, it does make a difference. Again, the great thing about these cars is you really can enjoy them within the speed limit, within sensible driving. 5,000 RPM, and there's me at 60 miles an hour. These cars are just good fun. It's as simple as that. They're practical, they're reliable. Well, practical from the point of view of obviously being a two-seater sports car, but certainly they're practical in the fact that you could use it every day should you wish to. They are great fun, certainly within the speed limits and the traffic constraints that we have. Again, you can get the roof down. You are in a Porsche. Entry level, there is the generation before this, and again there's a myriad of vehicles to choose from you know, just a few £1,000s really. You know, again, buy the best you can. However, service history, look at where they're at. But you've got to sort of say maybe £6,000–7,000 for the Generation 1 is probably going to get you the sort of example that you can you know, really trust and rely on. And then sort of depending on mileage, once you get into this sort of 987 variants, you're over the £10,000 mark and upwards. Again, is around about where you want to be starting off to make sure you get something that you would hope it to be. But when you've got low mileage like this, just 55,000, you know, it's not even really running properly. It's got plenty of life in all the components, and again, service history and just general, you can just sort of see when a car's been looked after. We wouldn't take anything into stock that we're not going to stand behind. And this is certainly one of those cars. Some of the cars I'm fortunate enough to drive here, the GT3 RS for example, fantastic cars, but to be honest with you, you don't really get 100% out of them on the road. You just can't. Whereas you can get far more of the usability and into the rev range and into the actual vehicle itself in something like this than you can even in that sort of level of vehicle. So you've probably heard enough of me rabbiting on. Thank you for that. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to the channel and come and visit us online. Thank you.